The great hosting debate, shared hosting versus BPS hosting. When should you make that jump from shared to a BPS hosting? Now, I'll give you my personal experience on when I made that jump, but I'll be honest with you, I still use both of them. I still use shared hosting for some of the sites, and I still use BPS for some of the other sites. And there's different reasons for this. But what made me jump to a BPS is what makes it interesting. And basically, a BPS gives you more resources, more control, better security, and different type of situations where you're going to need it. Now, like I said, I still use share hosting and I use it because it's fantastic. I mean, it has a lot of features, it's easy to use, it has email hosting included in most of the hosting plans with shared hosting, and you don't have that on a BPS. But there comes a time where you reach some limitations on shared hosting and you need to move to a BPS. How did it happen to me? Well, I have a classified ads website and it doesn't have a lot of traffic, but it does have a lot of ads included in it. And what happens and why did I move for a BPS? Well, that classified ad site that had a lot of posts, well, each one of these posts would generate new files. And there's so many posts that generate so many files. And it came to a particular time where these file counts really counted on my shared hosting. And I reached the limits on a shared hosting plan. So what was my options available? Well, get a different site, host the files somewhere else, or get a BPS to avoid those type of limitations. And I took the route of getting a BPS and I resolved that issue. Now on a BPS, you will have some complications because basically you have to take care of everything. Security, installing it on a BPS manager. So there is no panel for the BPS. You need to install it on a panel per se. In my personal usage, I use the server avatar, which is a BPS panel for my HostGator BPS. So it's a really good option to switch over to that. Now with BPS, you have dedicated resources, you get better security, and you get extra access to different files on a BPS. So basically, when you want to go the route of a SaaS, for example, or a PHP site, you might have requirements to install different things inside of that site. And basically, you might be limited on shared hosting, and that's why you might want to use a BPS for different type of reasons. But basically, you're gonna get dedicated resources, which is gonna be a faster site than what you would get at shared hosting, and you're gonna get extra features with extra access to different type of situations. So those are the main reasons why you would make the BPS choice. But be aware that, like I said, there's limitations with that. With a BPS, you will need to pay additionally for email hosting because you don't have emails in the panel, unless you pay something really expensive like cPanel, for example. You know, and on the other hand, shared hosting does have emails. So basically, I told you in the beginning, I use shared hosting and I use BPS. Why do I keep using both? Well, on shared hosting, I use it for clients that don't need a really fast site, that don't pay the normal price tag, and they need emails. So it's a great choice for me keeping shared hosting. Plus, I can fit several sites into a shared hosting plan. On the BPS, on the other side, it's for clients who need a really top-notch site, who needs really fast speed and a lot of bandwidth and usage, and that's why I use a BPS. So those are the reasons. Now, right now you can grab a BPS on Hostinger for a really great price. Plus, there's a coupon that I'm going to provide you that gives you an extra discount coupon code. So if you check out their site, go into the tab where it says hosting, go to BPS hosting, and you're gonna see the available plans that they have a bunch of them. Now, first thing you're gonna be notice on a BPS is that there's plans with really good RAM and bandwidth. Okay, so for example, this one has 16 gigabytes of RAM. So that's a lot of RAM on a BPS. But in this case, I'll recommend you this one, which has really nice limits: 2 gigabytes of RAM with 48 gigabytes of SSD storage, 2 terabytes of bandwidth, and all the top-notch things. So let's add it to cart and let's see how you're gonna apply that discount that I'm going to provide you. So once you go into this plan that you've selected, you have this option to select 1 month through 48 months. Obviously, if you select 48 months, you lock in the better price. Well, you can lock it in from 12 and 24, but the renewal price is cheaper on the 48 months. Plus, you lock it in for that amount for the 48 months. So do recommend that use that one. Now, right now, this plan is $287 with 52 cents. But if you apply the coupon code that I provide you, it's SaaS Master, apply it, see how much it's going to reduce, and now it's $258 with 77 cents. So a great discount that you can apply. Now, this is something you're going to pay for 4 years. Now, you don't have to worry about paying again for 4 years. So, I mean, it's a great deal. Check it out. Now, that is why you would change to a BPS. So, I do recommend jump over to BPS if you are truly going to go the professional route with your websites. There you go. That's a wrap.